Hello. If I created two lives, my apologies. So, hi, my name's Tracy. Just a quick pop-up live. I got some happy mail from Bitty Penny, and I wanted to show you what she sent me because it is so super cool. And then also, I've got just some other happy mail that's not a big deal. So the other happy mail are just these photo corners for a project I'm working on. And they came in this Amazon bag, and I thought, well, this is definitely a useful bag for junk journals, so I'm saving it. But let's move those aside because I want to show you the real price. So I ordered from her because she was destashing some stamps. And so I got Rabbit Hole Designs, and this set is called Catitude because I love cats. I can't help it, and especially ones with butts. So I love this little lazy one because that's so cattish. And then I've always wanted this Gerda Steiner set. I have another unicorn, looks something like this, but it says feeling stabby. And then this other one from Darcy's, which is another unicorn and rainbow. So those are the things I ordered from her. And then what she sent me. So first of all, there's this cute little journaling card. Typical Bitty Penny style. Little sunglasses, so adorable. And so clever. And she sent me a tea towel. And it says, I get by with a little help from my friends. And so there's that. And I hope that this is actually recording. I almost feel like I should check because there's nobody here. Typically somebody pops in. But the coolest thing that she sent, and this is the coolest idea ever, is this little thing. I'm going to be right back because I'm going to check to make sure I'm actually live. And I don't keep my phone in here. Okay, well, that's weird. Sorry about that. Okay, hey Peggy, thanks for letting me know because I wasn't sure what was going on. I can see that I'm live, so we're good. And it doesn't matter because people can watch the replay. So anyway, I was saying this is such a cool idea. So it's like a 5x7 card, and it's all decorated on the front. It's got a little wax seal, and you'll have to excuse the state of my hands. They're pretty stained from what I've been doing today. And so the first page, it's actually like a little book. So it's got like two greeting cards attached to it on either side with pockets. So there's a little pocket here, little journaling card. I don't know if this opens. It doesn't. Hey, Abraham. And then let's get this back in here. You know, she's clipped these two friends on here. And you open it up, and there's another pocket with another tag you can journal on and a journaling card. Such a great idea. I'm definitely going to steal this idea, borrow this idea, do best practices for this idea, and then another pocket with more places to journal. So this opens out. You can journal inside, and you can put whatever you wanted on that little tag right there. And then one more page with some more friends doing their laundry while gossiping while doing laundry. And one friend practicing her song for her other friend. And you are that girl. Thanks for being a friend to us all. Really sweet. And finally, there's a greeting card inside with words, 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 words. Kind words from Biddy Penny. I think this is such a cool idea. So in response to this, I made her something today. And I made this out of an entire Kleenex box, this kind. So the Great Value kind. The only parts I didn't use were these ends. And in hindsight, I could have used them to make little tags, but I had already thrown them away. So here it is. And so let's open it up here. And it's like a little, sort of a little folio. So this is the outside, and if you take the tag out, here's the inside of the front cover. Here's the back part, and I'll show you the inside of the back cover. You open it out, and I made like a little kind of a tablet, just like a little notepad that goes inside of a pocket. I stitched all around. So this was obviously the top piece. And these were the bottom piece. These might have been some of the sides. These were the sides. And so we'll put this back in here. And you can see that I've sanded off most of the, because this stuff sands off really easy. Most of the decorative design on the, and then we've got inside, we've got a little dragonfly. And then these are a lot of the papers that I printed on my tea dye paper. Put this little tablet back in here. And then in this page, we've got another pocket and a little tag that you can journal on. And I've got the little samurai guy. Hi, Diane. I'll get that back in there. And then here I put my note to her. Uh-oh. Don't tell me it's stuck. This, I made just a little envelope out of rice paper and slipped a note inside. And this was done with a napkin that Elizabeth sent me. And then another one that I printed on my tea dye paper. So I was sitting there and I emptied out my Kleenex box, which I do multiple times a week, it feels like, just because of allergies and stuff. And I thought, I want to make something out of this. And I always say that, and then I put it aside, and I eventually just end up tearing it up and throwing it away because I just don't get around to making something out of it. But I had a purpose. Oh yeah, and if you pull this on the back, inside there's a little koi. So that was my response. This is my thank you to Biddy Penny for sending the extra goodies, especially that little card that is just, to me, the coolest thing ever. Kind of like a little folio card. Now, where was this tag? It was in the front. And this you might recognize from one of my sessions where I was doing, you know, a gel plate. And this can fit down inside here. You can tuck anything else in there you want as well. You can take this out and use it elsewhere or whatever. So I was super excited to get those stamps. I'll be live for my full live later tonight with a very special guest, and I think you guys will be super excited to meet this guest if you haven't already met them. And then the only hint I'll give you is it's a dude. Right, you can do any style you want with this, Diane. You don't have to do grunge or, you know, dirty. You can do real pretty and bright papers. And you don't have to sew it. I just decided this is a piece of acetate in here, and I just cut it and folded it and scored it, and then I colored it with some alcohol inks. I think I used 3 colors. I used latte, ginger, and espresso because we were in a coffee mood. Right, because honestly, I feel bad because I go through so many of these just throwing them away when, you can make something useful out of them. And like I said, in hindsight, I could have taken those little ends and made little tags. I put a little wax seal, made a little wax seal and put it on here. Um, I'm not the best at wax seals. Hi, Dawn. So that's all I have until I come back tonight, and then we're going to be doing grunge tonight. So if it's not your thing, I would encourage you to come hang out anyway because you're going to love my guest. Let's see, maybe I want the bow in the center. I don't know. I'm not a bow person. I'm more of a naughty girl. Maybe a little lower just so it kind of. And then these little pieces of paper right here, this was just one of the ones I printed on my tea dye paper. And then I printed with a laser printer. And what I did, because I wanted a scent to this, but nothing too strong, I took some sandalwood oil and put it in my hands and then just kept crunching the paper and opening it and crunching it and opening it. I have a guest tonight, yes, on my 5 o'clock Central Live. So if you came in late, I'll show you once more what I got from Bitty Penny, what I ordered from her D-stash. These unicorns, the Gerda Steiner ones. And no, there's no dies, and I don't need dies. I can cut these out, no problem. Then these unicorn from Darcy's. I like the sentiment right here. And then the cats. Hope you have the best birthday in the whole world. What a butthole of a cat. I didn't even notice that. So I'm excited about those. She sent me this fun little journaling card. She sent me a tea towel, which I didn't order, but it is so cool. I get by with a little help from my friends, and this is going to be me and my friend. I don't know, tomorrow or something. And then the coolest card ever, which I am definitely going to borrow this practice because this is just super, super cool. I can't get this in here right. There we go. So cool. Thank you, Bitty Penny. And I will ship this guy out to you ASAP. And hopefully I'll see you guys tonight, 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Mountain, 3 o'clock Pacific. I don't know Australia or UK. But by the way, hi everyone. Thanks for popping in. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.